Mugar Nabiev. Today I'm going to talk to you about the best ways to improve your English language skills. The most important thing to do is to create a plan to develop the language skills and follow that plan. Clarify your goals in learning English and then make a specific plan to succeed. It's absolutely necessary that learning English becomes a habit. In other words, you should work on your English every day. You should listen to, watch, read English materials or speak English every day, even if it's for a short period of time. Choose listening and reading materials that relate to what you are interested in. Being interested in the subject will make learning more enjoyable, thus more effective. The internet is the most exciting unlimited English resource that anyone could imagine, and you can benefit from it very effectively. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing are the 4 language skills we need to develop for complete communication in a foreign language. To achieve these 4 basic language skills, you need to surround yourself with English. Make English part of your life at home, at work, during your free time. Listening plays a very important part in learning any language. Effective listening ensures understanding, and it helps improve accuracy when speaking. Watch movies, different videos, TV shows, news, entertainment programs. If you can watch DVDs, you can watch the movie several times. Watch with subtitles, and then, when you feel more comfortable without them, listen to music, the radio. Speaking is often the hardest of the 4 language skills, but as soon as you can speak a little English, there are lots of ways to improve it quickly and enjoy your learning process. You can become a member of an English conversation club and take an active part in interesting conversations. Talk to your friends in English. Even if you don't have such opportunities, you can talk and record yourself. This may sound a little funny, but it will help you realize how you can improve by repeating the recording several times till you feel pleased with your results. While learning various grammar topics, you can practice translating a number of sentences related to those topics from your native language into English. With this method, you can write many sentences in your copybook, practice with them every day, and check yourself. As a result, you will master English not only theoretically but also practically. This allows you to build sentences with different grammatical structures fluently in English when you talk to somebody. Reading involves several brain functions, and it takes time to develop reading comprehension skills. You can learn new words with the help of a dictionary while reading texts. It will also greatly help you develop your other language skills. You can read books in English and articles on the web. Try to start with easy books, even children's books and comics. The images will help you understand the text, even if you don't know all the words. Anyone can get used to writing with a little discipline and a willingness to learn. Write down words or expressions you think useful with their meaning and examples. Write comments in English blogs. You don't need to be an expert to write a few sentences about what you think or feel about the content of the blog. Write your plans, shopping lists in English. Now I want to summarize what I said above. Use English as much as possible. Practice makes perfect, which means that if you want to improve a certain skill, you have to practice it. No matter what level of English you have, you'll need to improve all 4 language skills: speaking, listening, writing, and reading. There are 2 main ways to learn a foreign language. either through natural communication with foreigners from an early age or through grammar. The first way is available to very few people. So, most language learners have to master the language through grammar. At this point, a serious problem arises. How can we turn the theoretical knowledge we have learned from grammar into practical speaking skills? For example, suppose you'd like to learn English independently. Get a good grammar book. For example, Murphy's Grammar is very good. Read each lesson theoretically first. Do theoretical tests on the topic. Then grab a copybook. Write the name of the lesson. Then summarize what you learned in the copybook. First, write a brief description of the theoretical basis of the topic, and then divide the page into two parts. Copy the example sentences related to the topic from your grammar book and write them on the right side. And write their translation into your native language on the left side. Look, this is the book Advanced Grammar in Use, and this is the copybook written in the way I said to study the book in a practical way. First, read all the sentences on the page. Read sentences in your native language silently and read sentences in English aloud. Once you have read the sentences, practice speaking. That is, just look at the sentences you wrote in your native language on the left, read each sentence silently once, and then try to translate the sentence yourself and say it out loud. Look in the copybook and check yourself. See if you have translated the sentences into English correctly. After learning one page, move on to the next. In this way, memorize all the sentences on the topic in English. Pronounce the words aloud correctly. Then study other topics in the same way, as well as review all the topics you have learned before. Practice speaking in this way every day, and you'll soon notice how your speech improves. Thus, you'll be mastering grammatical topics both theoretically and practically, and at the same time, you'll be learning many new words. By memorizing a sentence on a grammatical topic, you can make hundreds of other sentences in this form fluently and quickly. Thus, by mastering grammar in a practical way, you'll be quickly acquiring the ability to speak fluently. I even wrote a grammar book based on this method. Now I am showing you the book. As you can see, many of the sample sentences are written in Azerbaijani on the left and in English on the right, so that readers can improve their speaking skills. Vocabulary is an important part of learning any second language. It plays a significant role to make a perfect sentence. It will be easier for you to develop your English skills if you improve your vocabulary. Many students make the mistake that they don't want to learn new and unknown words. Let's see the ideas or steps to improve vocabulary in English. Tip number 1. Read newspapers, magazines and books in English. Reading newspapers, magazines and books is very important to develop vocabulary in English. When you start reading an English newspaper for the first time, it seems very difficult for you to understand. But never give up. Try to read a few articles every day and mark the new and unknown words. After finishing your reading, write down those words you marked before and memorize those words with meanings. Follow this routine as part of your life. Suddenly you can feel your vocabulary is growing up and you can understand the sentences in the newspapers, magazines and books. Tip number 2. Use a dictionary. You must have a dictionary to increase your vocabulary. For example, you can use monolingual Oxford dictionaries. You can see interesting examples of how this word is used in a sentence. You can learn lexical and grammatical structures of this word. In addition, you can find other words and phrases derived from that word, synonyms and antonyms of that word in these dictionaries. Such dictionaries have 2 columns on each page. Divide each page horizontally into 2 parts with a pencil to learn the words easily. Thus, your page will be divided into 4 sections. In one of these sections, first read the words and their meanings. That's the definitions given to them in the dictionary, as well as examples of them. They are synonyms and antonyms. At this point, read the words aloud. Then use your finger to cover the word and the sample sentences. Just look at the definitions of the word. Try to find a word that fits these definitions and pronounce it correctly. Then look in the dictionary and see if you have found the right word. Try to find other words correctly in this way. Continue this process until you find all the words in that section without making any mistakes. Then study the words in the other sections of the page in the same way. For example, you can study for 25 minutes each time and rest for 5 minutes so that your brain doesn't get tired. Tip number 3. Write down something. Writing something in English is a good way to increase English vocabulary. Only reading isn't enough to gain new words. You have to write something in English. You can write your daily plans, shopping lists, etc. in English. You can also choose a topic or genre you're interested in and start writing some sentences about the topic. You may use the vocabulary you memorized before. But remember that you should use that vocabulary which is applicable for your topic. Tip number 4. Focus on speaking and listening. Speaking is a good way to increase English vocabulary. Choose a partner with whom you can join a conversation every day. You can also make an English conversation group with some people. Listening to various materials in English, watching movies and videos will also help to enrich your vocabulary. Tip number 5. Review. Your every step will be in vain if you don't review what you memorized before. Review is the route to develop any skills. Pick a day from a whole week to review the words you memorized before. When you make any sentence, try to use those words. That's how you can remember that vocabulary for a longer time. I hope this video will be very useful for you. Click the like button, share it if you enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your attention. I wish you every success in learning English perfectly. Bye.